Alright, I'm going to show you 3 different ways to draw parallel lines. The first 2 ways are if you don't really, it doesn't matter how far away the parallel lines are. The third way is if you needed an exact distance away or displacement away. So the first one, I got this line here I drew. First way is to just take your ruler and you're just going to take a pencil, take your ruler and you line it up. I know this is a protractor, but this edge is a ruler. It's straight. I'm going to line it up, and then I'm able to just draw on the other side here. So I take my pencil and I just draw along the top, and I get a second line that is parallel. Now, parallel line, if you take straight measurement across, straight measurement, the shortest way, they will be equidistant. They will have the equal distances. Okay, so our second method, I've got this line down here. I'm just going to hold this still. There's a line down at the bottom. What we do is we use our protractor. Now, a protractor, it's got this point right at the bottom, right here, where these lines cross. This would be the center of the circle that would make if you put another protractor against this. Now, there's this little extra space that doesn't count towards it. Now, what we do is we put that center point on the line, and then these lines that come straight across out of it here, we line those up with the line. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put this on 2 different points. So right there. Good. And I'm going to then take my pencil and I'm going to draw an arc around here. Make a big semicircle. Alright, so I finished drawing my arc around. The point was somewhere over here and I made a big semicircle. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to put this any other point on the line. Doesn't really matter where. And I'm going to draw a circle. Just give me a moment. Alright, so I drew a second one here. Now, to draw the parallel line, all you need to do is take your ruler and place it right on top of both circles, and the only place where they both touch, if you draw a line straight across there, it's going to be parallel. Okay, so I drew a line straight across the top, and so now that line right there and that line there are parallel. Fun side fact, this point where this crosses here, if you draw a line straight down from there, it would be exactly perpendicular, but we'll do that later in the unit. Alright, now the third way, I have a line, and I want to now, I can't just draw a parallel line anywhere. They're saying that I need to have a parallel line that passes through C. Okay, so C has to be one of the points on this line. So I have a line down here, A to B, so we call it line AB. Keep it capitals because they're both capitals, from point A all the way to point B. Now what we do, our first step is actually to pick any point here on AB, on line AB, and we're going to call it D. Okay. I've drawn it there. There's point D. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our compass. We're going to line it up so that our point is on D and the pencil is on C. Alright, so I've got it the exact thing so that it'll touch both at the same time. And I need to draw a big semicircle, so I'm going to do that. Alright, so I drew a big semicircle using my compass. Now, I want to keep this the exact same size because I need to use it for something. Now, notice down here there's a point where that circle crossed the line. We're going to call that point E. We're just going up the alphabet. We've got point E. Now, using that exact same size, I'm going to put the point now at E instead and draw a big circle, that semicircle that goes through D. Okay, now what I need to do, now that I've drawn a second circle, is I need to line it up so that E is where my pin is and C is where my pencil is, okay? So that it's that distance. And then I'm going to not draw a circle, this is a mistake I made this morning, not draw the circle with it at E, we're now going to move it so that it's on D. Okay, so using the compass that was at E and C, that was that distance, you're going to then move the point over to D, and you're going to draw a semicircle here. And what you're going to notice, remember, A and B, they were on this line down here that I drew. Notice the lines on the paper. Where does this point cross? It crosses on the same line that C is on. It crosses right here. We're going to call this point F, okay? Now notice something. Point C and point F are on that same line that is a line on our paper that we already know is parallel to here. And we can then take our ruler, line it up with those and draw our line through. And therefore, we have drawn a line that goes through C. And that line through C is exactly parallel to AB, which was our task. Now, I use these lines behind and I kept my line on there to show that this works. But this would work even if you had a line that started over diagonally or something crazy like that. I chose to draw it on this paper to show that it did confirm what we already knew as parallel, which is these blue lines on this paper.